there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it is your first time here. My name is Erin, and today's video is an episode of #FridaySews, the weekly sewing catch-up where we talk about what we're doing inside and outside of the sewing room, started by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. How many times can I say sewing in the first 30 seconds of this video? A lot, apparently. Today we're going to talk about what I've been up to, of course, but I also have some non-sewing things, so that's exciting. I remember that other crafts do exist. It's crazy. Let's get into it. What I worked on over the past week, you've already seen part of it. I finished up my green Clearwater set, the Clearwater Summer Essentials from Love Notions. I made the dress and the shorts that come in the pattern to go underneath. And then I made another version in a navy ATY from Serge Fabrics, and I just made the dress that time, so I'm gonna do something different with the shorts in the future. I have a full, very long review with a little bit of a tutorial thrown into it that went out on Wednesday. If you have not seen it, go check it out. It is a long video, but I have chapters in there, so you can skip around to parts you're interested in. And it is so long because I felt like I had a lot of information to share and a lot of opinions to share, and the instructions for the pattern were very sparse. So I felt like I had to fill in a lot of gaps, at least gaps that I saw. So check that video out if you are remotely interested in the Love Notions Clearwater or my experience sewing it. After that, I got started on something for my mother-in-law. Her birthday is in mid-August, and I wanted to make her something because she always is like really, really kind about the things I make myself and my husband and my daughter. And I think she would appreciate something really nicely made for me. I know she would appreciate it. I'm a little nervous about the sizing because I don't have her measurements because I want it to be a surprise. But I know what size she wears in Loft, which is a brand she wears a lot of, and she likes the fit of. So I looked at their size charts and used those body measurements to then find her size. I am making the Love Notions Rhapsody, which is a pattern that I really do like from Love Notions, and I got that started. I am using this beautiful purple and pink fabric. This is going to be the inside. So I put on this little tag already from Sarah Hart's. I got that tag, and I got this fabric from my local quilt shop, who I've been talking about a lot lately. It is Block Therapy in Goshen, Mississippi. The fabric is from there. They recently brought in some woven fabrics because there's going to be a class about sewing garments at the end of August. And just to stock because the owner does also sew garments as well as quilts and all kinds of stuff. She's very talented. Anyway, so this is from Andover Fabrics, I believe, if I remember correctly, and it has this really cool sashiko to it. They had this also in like a teal colorway, if I recall. I was very torn on which color to get because my mother-in-law looks really good in all kinds of blues and greens. She also looks good in purple, and it's her favorite color, so that's what I went for. So yeah, I've started it. I have the yoke and the yoke lining attached. The next step is to attach the front. So I have the gathers in, and then I just need to line it all up. I was originally just going to do the sleeveless version because she wears a lot of sleeveless stuff, but I did have enough fabric because I had to go buy more. I had enough fabric to make sleeves. I decided to do the flutter sleeves because it's basically sleeveless but with a little to it, a little more fun to it, and she does like stuff with like ruffles and flutters and things like that. So I have those cut out to put on. I figured I could base them on, and then if I don't like it because of like the sashiko striping or something, I can just take them off and do the sleeveless. That is going well. I did also cut out my everything for the collab I'm doing with Stacy from Stacy J's Studio. I always want to say Design Studio. Stacy J's Studio, because that is coming out on Wednesday. So I cut it out, and I will spend most of the weekend working on it, and then my husband is not working Monday or Tuesday. So I have like tons and tons of time to work on it if I need tons of time. I don't think I will, but you know, famous last words. That is where we're at with that. And I did make progress on my Standing Tall quilt for the Standing Tall Quilt Along, hosted by Teresa from Lost My Thread and Sarah from So Sarah Sewed. I'm behind still, but not as behind. I'm catching back up. I did have to make some more blocks. If you recall, last week or the week before, I talked about being a couple short because I apparently struggle with counting a lot. So I made a couple more, and then I actually made too many. I have 2 extra now. I don't know. I think a lot of them were getting stuck together when I was trying to count, and I just didn't do it very diligently. But we're here now. So I laid those all out today on our guest bed, and I have it worked out where they're all gonna go, but I don't know what my background's gonna be. So I need to figure that out. They're laid out right now on a white sheet because that's what's on our guest bed. And I actually really like the white between them, but I don't have any plain white cotton. I don't think I have any plain white anything. So I would have to go buy some. I'm trying not to buy fabric, but I could probably find something really cool at my local quilt shop. I get so addicted to going to these places because they have great stuff, and it's supporting a local business, which we all love that. So, well, anyway, I'll figure that out. I think I'm gonna go with white. I might do some like stash diving and scrap diving and piece as much of it together as I can. It's already a pretty pieced together quilt, and I think we're gonna keep it because Adam likes it. So I'm gonna see what I can do with stuff I already have first, and then we'll see where we're at. But that is coming along, and I'm making progress, and I'm catching up, which is exciting. I really do like how it's coming out, even though I've been like scraping the back of my stash trying to find stuff that would work to make those last couple blocks, and then I made too many. I need to work on counting. Speaking of quilting and speaking of block therapy, when I went in there the second time this week, because I had to go back to get more fabric, I had seen this display before at the shop, but I didn't have a reason to buy it, so I didn't buy it even though it was really cute, and then I made up a reason. So when I went back the second time, I bought it. My best friend's son has a birthday coming up at the beginning of September, and my best friend and her family stuff are very into spooky season, as is our family. So I decided that I'm gonna make this quilt for him for his birthday because it also comes with a book. The Little Ghost Who Was a Quilt. How cute is that? So it has the book. Well, it doesn't have, you can buy the book at the shop. They have it there. But then what they did is they made just a little kit so that you can make the quilt, which I think is so cute. And there's some really, really cute fabrics in here. I'm really excited. It's going to be very easy to piece together. And it's a pretty small quilt. I think it's like baby sized or so. I will insert a picture from their website because they have it listed on the website. I will also include the link below because they ship, yes, they ship things. So I will include the link to it and then a picture here of the display they have because, man, it sold me. I was trying to find a reason to buy it and make it. It's just so cute. Look at the little quilt ghost. So I'm very excited to make this. I don't know when, before the beginning of September, because that's when his birthday is. That is it for sewing. My plans for next week are to figure out my background situation for the standing tall quilt and hopefully get that put together. And then obviously the collab with Stacy and my mother-in-law shirt. I think that's it. I'm just gonna work on that stuff. I'm sure I will want to work on other things if I have time, which I might, but if I have time, I do want to start putting together my toddler's swimsuit because she wants to go to the beach more. I want to take her to the beach more. She only has like one functional swimsuit that meets my criteria for what her swimsuits need to be because we had to get rid of another one because it was way too small. So I do want to get that put together for her so that we have more swimsuits for her. I think it'll be pretty easy. I don't know. Once again, famous last words. So I have that going on. But like I said, I remembered that other crafts exist. If you've been around since the beginning of the year, really, you will maybe remember that I started cross stitching and knitting about the same time in January because I was away from home. And I have, mostly when traveling, been doing both of those still. But I hadn't for a while because I've been so focused on sewing and having so much fun sewing, but have just been, my whole brain has just been full of sewing. So this past week I just like remembered that these other crafts exist, partially because for some reason the YouTube algorithm put floss tube back on my radar. And I don't really watch a lot of floss tube videos because I'm not that into cross stitch and they're very long. But someone showed up on my recommendations, Elizabeth Ann Can. She has 20 something or 30 something thousand subscribers. She was primarily cross stitch, I think, but she does other things, and she recently has shifted to like not doing floss tube videos, like they're not called floss tubes, because she also quilts, sews bags, I think has sewn some clothes. She knits and crochets and cross stitch. Like she's just a very crafty person. So I think that's why it kind of like found its way back into my algorithm, and I've been watching some of her videos and going back and watching some of her videos, and it like re-inspired my desire to cross stitch. So I have been working on Hello Petal. This is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I have 4 trees, one for each season. This is the spring one. I started this in January, and I'm really close. I just need to finish the sheep, and then there's grass here and nest with eggs and a bird on it. I'll put the picture of what it's going to be. So this week I have filled in kind of the base of the tree was still blank, and I just did the sheep's legs, well, 3 of them. I have 1 more leg to do, and I'm working on filling in the sheep. So that's going really well, and it's been nice to get back to stitching. On this, the other thing I will say I really like about floss tube, because I've found 1 or 2 other people that I've watched some of their videos lately that are floss tubes, but a lot of them also knit. I will say a lot of floss tubers seem to also knit, which I like. Anyway, I like how they'll start something and be like, I'm not going to finish this for years, and it's totally fine. Like they have whips for days. They do, if you're unfamiliar with floss tube, it's about cross stitching, and they do whip parades where they just show all their works in progress. And they'll be like, I didn't watch this one, but I think one of them that showed up was 4 hours long. Just of like, this is the pattern, this is the progress. This is the pattern, this is the progress. And like, I just like that it's so chill. It's like, I'm just doing this for the sake of doing it. And I do think some people cross stitch to get a finished product more quickly. I think they're called monogamous cross stitchers. And other people are like, I'm just doing it to do it. I like it. So I really like that approach to it. You may remember from about March, April timeframe, I worked on Hello Sunshine, which is the summer one. But I started it when I was away from home, and I got a ton done on it while I was away from home. And I was looking at it and I was like, this feels like a different size than the other one, but it had been a while since I'd worked on Hello Petal, so I wasn't sure. And when I got home, I realized like, yes, I messed up. This count is much different than this count. I thought about finishing it because I made a lot of progress. I just have to finish out the top of the tree. I have like maybe a third of it left, maybe more because this is all negative space, but I decided not to finish it because I don't like it and I'm never going to display it, and I think it looks, I just don't like it. So this is gonna go, I hate to just throw it away. I'll recycle it. That makes me feel better. But yeah, I don't like it. So I'm skipping summer for this year. I will start it probably next spring I'll start it. After I finish this, because I'm so close, I do want to finish this. I'll probably start Hello Pumpkin. It's Hello Pumpkin, which is really cute. And speaking of cross stitch, another small business in my local area in Gulfport, Mississippi, there's a shop called What's Your Stitch and Wool Market Fibers. I think they like one acquired the other or something. They have stuff for knitting and crochet, cross stitch and embroidery, and some fabric. There's like a small kind of quilting corner section. There's a couple aisles, not a ton, but they have a little bit of all of those activities. They don't have a ton of cross stitch, but I went in there today because my daughter and I were over there and I had never been there. So I went in, and shopping in those places with a toddler is kind of a challenge, especially there because there were a bunch of people sitting around a table crafting together. They were all kind of working on different things. They were all kind of crafting together and chatting and having a nice time. And even though there weren't really other people shopping, I didn't want to let her just run rampant, which I will say at block therapy, I let her just walk around. Because I don't know, I just do. They have this little stuffed frog that's really cute that she likes to grab and walk around. So she's like, I'm just gonna walk around the aisles, and she does. And she doesn't grab things. Here she started grabbing things, so I had to buy some DMC floss that I was not planning on purchasing. But anyway, so I flipped through the cross stitch patterns. None of them super spoke to me, but I did see this one from Carolyn Manning Designs, and I had just been looking at her website. So I got really excited because I'd just been browsing her website like a day or two before, almost buying some of her patterns. They had 2 from her Shooting Star collection. They had, I forget what the other one was called. They had another one, and then this one, Persephone. I'm liking it more on camera. I don't know, it was one of those situations where I was looking at them both next to each other and I liked the other one less. So this one looked really good in comparison. But then I got out to the car. We had parked like a quarter mile away or so at a coffee shop where we had lunch. When we got back there, I pulled it out again and I was like, I think I don't like it. So I might change some of the colors. I think I decided what it really comes down to is there is this blue and green, at least on here, look too similar and I don't like it. It looks muddled to me. So I might change some of those colors a little bit. But when I get the actual floss and can look at them next to each other, I'll decide. I briefly contemplated totally changing all of the colors, but I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to try and make some of them a little more crisp. Because then same thing here. Like, they just run together in a way that I don't really like. But so I just picked up the pattern. I'll see what flosses I already have and then go from there and kit it up. So that, and then, oh, I didn't grab it, but I have been working a little bit, not a lot, a little bit on the rainbow striped sweater I am making my daughter in a 4T. She just turned 2. I started this back in January when she was like 18 months old, and I specifically made the 4 so that I have forever to make it, or at least feels like forever. I have the back totally done. I'm on the front. I have one more colored stripe for the front, and then I have to knit up to a certain height. And then will be the tricky part because it'll all be stuff I haven't done before, of like doing the shoulders and the sleeves and everything. So I'm hoping to get at least like the front knitted up to like the right height by fall. And then I'll spend some fall and winter time trying to make the rest of it. And I'll hopefully finish it in the next 2 years. That's the plan there. But it's been nice to do some of these things again. Really, really nice to do some of these things again and remember that there are other crafts and just bring those into my life again. Speaking of life, what a smooth transition. The reason I've had so much time to not only sew but work on other crafts is because my husband Adam was out of town. He was out of town from Friday through early Tuesday. He got back to the house from the airport at 4 a.m. So he was gone for those 4 days over the weekend, and then he had Tuesday off, but he obviously slept in. I let him sleep in for a long time because he got home at 4 a.m. And then he had Tuesday night off, but then starting Wednesday, he is on a string of night shifts, which for him are 12 hours overnight, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is like awful for him. I feel so bad for him. So it's like at nighttime, like right now, it's just me. It's me all by myself. So I've been having lots of crafting time, but I've also been doing some reading and no housework because that's a personal rule of mine. So yeah, that's partially why I've had so much time. And then because he's working through the weekend, he'll have Monday and Tuesday off, which will be nice. It's just so nice. The other exciting thing is we booked a trip, just Adam and I, to Europe for October. The first 2 weeks of October, we will be in a couple different places in Europe. And his parents are going to come down here to hang out with our little girl for 2 weeks. So everyone wins, basically. I'm super excited for this trip because Adam has never been to Europe, which is really cool. Like really cool to get to go with him for the first time. We're mostly prioritizing places he wants to see. And I get to take him back to where I'm from, which is super, super cool. He's never been there. I was born and raised in a small rural city in Western Germany. It always sounds weird to say West or East Germany. Western Germany. I was born there and then lived there till I was 18. I went to school on base and everything, so my German is conversational. I can get by, I can talk to people, but like I have the grammar of a kindergartner. It's awful. So anyway, we are going to do just a quick little one night there, spend, I don't know, probably the majority of both days on either side there. So there's not a lot to see, but I can show him like, this is where I played as a child. This is the house I grew up in, because I've gotten to go back to where he's from, but he has never seen where I am from. So that'll be really, really cool. And I have only been back there once since my whole family moved. I graduated high school. My mom got a job here in the US on a base because she taught on base anyway. She got a job here. So my parents moved at the same time as I went to college. And I went back there one time. In 2019, I actually went back for work when I was in the Air Force and spent a couple of weeks there, which was so weird, but so cool. And yeah, that's the only time I've been back to where I was born and raised in the last 12 years. So I'm very, very excited to go back again and actually get to show my husband where I'm from. So that'll be cool. And then yeah, we're gonna go to a couple other places and it'll just be super, super nice. That's it. I'm just very excited about it. We've been planning, you know, doing all the planning stuff, booking hotels and all, and it's exciting. I don't want to get too excited because he is still in the military. And even when your vacation time, your leave is approved and on the calendar and everyone gives it a thumbs up and you're like good to go, they can always at the last minute be like, I'm sorry, can't. And there's not a reason we can think of that would happen for this trip, but the possibility is always there. Hence, everything we book is always fully refundable. But fingers crossed, it'll all be good. And then we will be bopping around Europe come October, which means I do want to make some stuff for that, but I'm not going to go hog wild because I'm just not. I'm trying to be reasonable with myself. That does it for this episode of #FridaySews. I will see you guys next Wednesday for my collab with Stacy from Stacy J's Studio. Definitely make sure you have your notification bell on for that if you are very interested. We haven't told you guys what the pattern is yet. So if you have the faintest guess, drop it in the comments down below just because I'm curious. But when people do that in their videos and they're like, guess what I want to make, or like drop suggestions, my brain is literally blank. It's like a desert with not even a cactus. There's not a tumbleweed blowing by, you guys, when someone's like, oh, guess something. Got nothing. So I don't blame you if you also have no idea. But that will be coming out on Wednesday, and then I will see you for #FridaySews. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. I was just about to start editing and realized I did, of course, forget to talk about something that was worth coming back on and recording a little clip. So I am pajama chic for this little segment. I ordered some A0 patterns last week. I will put exactly how long it took, but it was very fast. And I tried a new company. This is only my second time ordering A0 patterns. The first time I used patternprinters.com and it was good. They came just folded like this. I think they might have it was either like a waterproof envelope or this was in plastic in the envelope. I don't remember. But I had 3 patterns printed and they just came folded like this. But like the quality and everything was good. Nothing to complain about. I would have used them again. But a subscriber told me about a different company called Tape Free Patterns and the prices were better. And like, I am nothing if not cheap at heart. So I ordered from Tape Free Patterns a significantly larger order. It came really quickly. I don't remember exactly. I think this says I ordered it on the 19th and it got here yesterday, the 24th. So that's 5 days and that includes a weekend. So I'm very impressed. The other thing I'm really impressed by was the price. So the price per page for 20-pound paper, which is the same as I ordered from Pattern Printers, was $1.80, which is so good. Shipping was also really cheap. It was $7.32. So I got 23 pages, I think, if I counted right, printed for $39.60 was the printing price. Anyway. A really cute little handwritten note on the bottom saying thank you. This business just turned a year old. Apparently this is a business all about small businesses. This is a video all about small businesses. So it came packaged really nicely. Yeah, they just turned a year old, just had their anniversary. So yeah. They do send little swatches of the 3 paperweights they offer. So they have tissue, like a medium one, and then a 20-pound one. I don't remember what they're all called, but they give you samples of all of them, which I thought was really cool. And then what I'm really, really impressed by is that they put them in these little envelopes for you. And they have a sticky note with the order number and then what like the description was for the file name. The weight, like basically they filled this out for themselves, because if you only wanted certain pages printed, which I did for some of them, like this Take the Chance shirt dress, 3 of the pages are just rectangles and there is a cutting guide in the pattern, so I didn't want to have to print those 3 pages, so I just had them print the first 2. You can do that. They have a section for notes where you can do any layer requests or any like certain number of pages requests, stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And then, yeah, like I said, it comes in this envelope for every single pattern. You can take the sticky note off, write everything in yourself. How cool is that? I was just so impressed with the speed, with the quality of it all. Seems super, super good. I really, really recommend them. And if you are in the Plano area of Texas, you can schedule a local pickup at they have some options for local libraries, which funnily enough, my family is from that or lives in that area-ish. So in the future, I might schedule a local pickup. But yeah, I just was really, really impressed. So it was worth hopping back on to talk to you guys about another small business. Go check them out. I will have them linked below. Bye. For real this time.